Lofting a Penguin Part 4, and I actually changed quite a few things here at the bottom of the curves. I can show you. But first of all, I've made these indents here just to make the tail a little bit more pronounced. I moved these curves in, and at the back I've moved up this point so that the line from the spine to the tail has more of a flow to it. Actually, the one thing I wanted to show you is, for instance, if I have a point here and I want it to make more pointy, I have to make these tangent handles shorter. The easiest way of doing that is actually scaling that point. So I already have the scale tool, and I just click and drag, and you see my curve is actually getting pointier because the point itself is getting sharper. So this is what I have now, and I'm actually quite pleased with the results so far. And I wanted to do the paws, or sorry, the feet and the flippers in a separate tutorial, but basically it's the same idea. So you make a loft of the front flippers, and you use the template to follow the line. It has a little bit of an indent here, so it's not completely straight. And you actually mirror these two flippers, and later on when we make it into a polygon surface, you actually attach the flippers to the rest of the body. Same thing goes for the feet, and you just make circle splines and make these indents like I made here for the body, for the legs. And you just make these indents so that you can actually sculpt it into feet with toes. Next thing I'm going to do is create a material, and I'm going to show you how to easily make a texture without really getting into the paint job in Photoshop. So I have this material, and I'll just plop it onto the loft NURBS. Now, to show you what the topology looks like right now, and I know it's a crazy amount of polygons, but this is what we have now. Yes, it's that much. But that's okay, because the advantage of NURBS is that you can interactively tell it to put in more or less subdivisions. That's going to help us in the end creating something with enough subdivisions and still have enough detail to look like a convincing penguin. By the way, the V mesh is also editable. So this is usually where I keep it on, 12 and 2. And this is actually a nice amount of polygons. Let's see how many there are. Wrong object information. I got 136 polygons. That's nothing for an organic shape. And it's not even a polygon mesh yet, so I can change things around and simplify it wherever I can. Right. We'll get into creating the texture itself in the next chapter. I'm just showing you where I usually do my stuff. I flick off everything, which makes everything black. And then I'm going to use the luminance channel, and I can actually combine textures here to make something that already resembles basically the paint job on a real penguin. So let's start with a gradient, and I'll show you what I mean. This looks cool, but that's just by accident. It's a gradient. If I go into this gradient, I want to make it vertical at first. So here is black at the number 0, UV 0, and here it's white at 1. And you can tell that the UVs are already distributed in a normal fashion from the top to the bottom. Now, this is how it works with NURBS. The UVs are already distributed evenly over the surface, and all we need to do is do some smart trickery to make this into a nice texture that already fits the bird.